Hello, friends, it's been a while. I have no excuses. Anyway, we've all been starved for some good yaoi anime. I mean, how many do we get each season? 1, 2 if we're lucky, maybe even a movie or OVA if we've been good little rotten people. Trash. As for quality, don't get crazy now, that's an afterthought most of the time. And for winter 2022, we've got a total of one yaoi series, and this one is Sasaki to Miyano. The question is, will this be another or will it be another well, it's a show. Roll intro. If you've heard it once, you've heard it a million times, but I love a good romance series. In fact, that's mostly what I consume in manga form, second only to yaoi. But that's the key word here, manga.
Romance anime though.
They might not be bad, but they're certainly I'll forget about you in T-minus
5 seconds.
And these days, it's getting harder and harder and harder. Call me picky, but the start of the average season starts like this. I look for a show. I find one. I get 2 minutes in.
I can make lots and lots and lots of friends!
I give up.
Lather, rinse, and repeat. Always repeat.
If I'm lucky, I'll get 2 or 3 shows that I avidly watch. So when I first heard about Sasaki to Miyano, I was a little bit interested in checking it out. Someone actually asked me a while back in the comments if I was excited for it to come out, and I said a resounding yes! This was based on nothing but the fact that it was yaoi, and that's how you know I'm a moron who doesn't learn from history. As in, the history of quality in yaoi adaptations. Nevertheless, there were plenty of people saying it's cute and it's wholesome, and some were even comparing it to Horimiya. I mean, even the title is close to Horimiya. Just take off a few letters and you get Sasamiya. And take off a few more and you get S&M. Oh, babe. I just made this a little less wholesome now, didn't I? As the title implies, this is the story of Sasaki Shumei and Miyano Yoshikazu, 2 students at an all-boys high school. Naturally. It all starts when Miyano sees a friend of his getting bullied. You nerd! Which is something he apparently isn't used to seeing. Get used to stuff like this, by the way. Sasaki comes to the rescue, and then 3 months pass by.
Wait, that's it?
In the months we skip, they've apparently become good friends and bond over Miyano's massive BL collection. That's right, guys. Miyano's a fudanshi, and a hardcore one at that. I'm talking about making BL literally the only thing he reads, and listening to yaoi audio dramas on his damn iPod in school. Shabure! 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 You know, as one does. Well, I might have done that too. But remember, he's not gay, as he explains to everyone. And that is pretty much it. From there, they slowly, and I mean slowly, begin to realize they might want to be more than just friends. I don't think Sasaki to Miyano is all that great. Now, before the pitchforks come out, I don't exactly hate it. It's not as if this was some offensively bad series that made me want to pull my hair out, but I was expecting way more from it, especially given all the praise it's been getting since it premiered back in January! Fuck you! After slogging through each episode, I didn't really hear any talk about the series' flaws. It's only, it's too cute! It's disgusting! And now that we're well over halfway through the anime, I still don't get why so many people are falling head over heels for these 2. Should I feel bad about this?
I don't know.
But here we go.
Where's the flavor?
Before we go into their actual characteristics, Sasaki and Miyano are underwhelming before they even open their mouths to say a line. Not everyone is so bogged down by the art as I am, but they look like standard shoujo manga pretty boys to me. Cute convenience store boyfriends.
Mom! Haruki's gay!
Same thing. That's only the aesthetics, though. We can't always judge a book by its cover, can we? Yes, we can, but we aren't ready for that conversation. So, what are Sasaki and Miyano actually like? Well, Miyano is your run-of-the-mill first-year student. He's short, shy, and mostly blends in with his classmates. Really, the only thing they comment on, apart from the yaoi of course, is that he's a little too feminine looking, which Miyano is pretty insecure about. And Sasaki is your run-of-the-mill third-year student. He's outgoing, sociable, sorta but not quite a delinquent, but deep down he's got a heart of gold. They didn't even give us a gap moe here, which I'm a hoe for. Sad face. Anyway, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say this is almost everything they have to offer us. You know the part of a lot of romance anime where we slowly get to see two opposite personalities become friends and eventually a couple? Take Dress Up Darling for a recent example. Gojo and Kiragawa start off barely knowing each other, but by working together on her cosplay, they end up getting way closer than either of them would have thought. Well, imagine removing not only the interesting traits of those two, but skipping ahead to after they've already made that outfit. Loses a bit of a fun, doesn't it? Maybe fast-forwarding through 3 months moves the plot along faster, but it gives less of a reason to care about their growth. Sure, Sasaki and Miyano are trying to figure out what their sexuality is at a very confusing time in their life. Miyano's been supposedly suppressing his feelings about men for years, and Sasaki never thought about this kind of stuff before. But remember, this is not a drama, it's a fluffy as hell, cutesy-wootsy slice of life. That kind of character-driven angst is nowhere to be found in a series like this. Instead, it ends up boiling down to old, tired tropes. The idea that you were straight as an arrow until you met this one guy and
Whoops. Oh, I'm gay now.
and denying that you're gay even though it's obvious that you are, or at the very least bi, is ridiculous to me. You can say it's here because of homophobia or heteronormativity, but I'd love it if a series could avoid this shit. And in this series' case, those tropes are even more infuriating to me than usual. Sasaki spends so much time thinking about Miyano, touching him,
Don't touch!
saying how cute he is. But the moment he's asked if he loves him,
くそ気抜くなよ俺気持ち伝えんのって難しい
the same goes for Miyano. How does someone who consumes BL like a drug feel like it's impossible to like guys?
同性に対してのそういう好きって分からなくて
I don't care that he dated some random girl in middle school one time, because he sure doesn't show interest in anyone that isn't a guy. They're one-dimensional characters at their finest. Maybe you'll find them so heckin' cute, but cuteness isn't something that will help me personally connect with either of them.
Quality fucking time, sweetheart!
To say that this show moves slowly is a bit of an understatement. It's like watching Glacier make its way to the Bahamas. It's gonna get there maybe, but will it take its time? And as we're all well aware by this point, slice of life series don't have the strongest plots. It comes with the territory, so to make up for that, they need to have good, strong characters. Horimiya is of course one of my favorite examples of this. But while the characters in Horimiya make up for any minor issues one would have with its story, the same can't be said for Sasaki and Miyano. The over-reliance on teasing and the slow pace could be excused if our leads were at least interesting. But please refer back to my previous point. Instead of giving me those warm and fuzzy feelings, I just wanted to watch it on 2x speed.
Go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Maybe it is more realistic to have them try and figure out their emotions, but this series is as vanilla as you can get. And when the studio's previous BL adaptations are these,
What the fuck am I watching?
that's saying something. I personally much prefer Koi Monogatari if you want a story of teens questioning their sexuality and trying to navigate homophobia in high school. I want to see this animated yesterday. Please and thank you. Back to our topic. This series also goes out of its way to be as meta as possible with BL, but not in a funny or clever way, but in a "Hey, we're BL! Love us!" kind of way. I can't even call it meta because all they're doing is just talking about BL. You can throw out the usual BL terms and tropes all you want, but unless you do it in a clever way or try to deconstruct them, it just comes across as pandering to me. In fact, it feels like Sasaki and Miyano want to spend more time talking about BL tropes than actually trying to get closer as a couple. And that's just sad.
Panda, do you have anything positive to say today?
Yeah, I guess. I'll admit the side characters were pretty decent. It's not saying much, but at least they were more engaging than the title characters. In fact, they offer up most of the series' laughs.
クレサワの彼女見たことないかも見せていいよひれ伏してみ
It's also nice that they're all pretty accepting of Miyano's hobbies and likely sexuality. They make jokes about them from time to time, but it never comes across as actively malicious by them. He's still one of the boys! Even Ogasawara, someone who could have been a one-note villain, is given a little more depth than I expected. While he's taken aback that Miyano's into BL, he's more so worried about his relationship with his yaoi-loving girlfriend. Does she actually love Oga for who he is? Or does she just want him because he's the mirror image of her favorite bad boy ukes? Is he analyzing this perhaps a little more than he should?
Yes.
Honestly, I'd be more interested in meeting either his or Kurosawa's girlfriend. It's probably too late to say this, but I think I could have seen this work much better as a sketch series. Something like I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying, where we got 2 to 3 minutes of those guys hanging out and worrying about teenage issues. The manga was published on Pixiv originally, so it worked in shorter bursts. Not to mention it would get to the point a whole lot faster. There you have it. If you thought this show looked great and you fell in love with the two boys, then my review will probably not have convinced you. And I'm not here to fight anyone on this, really. But for what it's worth, it's an offensive fluff that has its share of cute and funny moments. If that's up your alley,
Good for you!
personally, I'm just waiting for my favorite angsty anime manga to update again because this
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
I am way too upset by this to make a video about it, so don't even ask. See you all next time! Bye!